for a little girl and an old ham.
We did it, Paige. Not bad for an old fart.
I never thought I'd say it, but I love a game that has talking animals, pearl collecting, and requires me to take pictures. Throw your preconceived notions out the window. It's time for Beyond Good and Evil. Developed and published by Ubisoft, Beyond Good and Evil was initially released in 2003 and then had an HD re-release in 2011. Michel Ancel, creator and writer, is also responsible for the Rayman series, but I feel like this title is in a league of its own. Beyond Good and Evil is one of those games I always meant to play but kept putting off until I almost forgot about it. Reminded by the March 2011 HD release on the Xbox Live Arcade, I finally made some time to beat this cult classic. I sat myself down for about 13 hours with my PlayStation 2 and played through Beyond Good and Evil for this review, but more so for myself. I have to say, I wish someone had forced me to play this game 8 years ago. Beyond Good and Evil is spectacular. It's a great mix of stealth, combat, puzzle solving, exploration, and yes, I didn't even really mind the photography aspect. Of all the things I love about this title, on the top of that list is the female protagonist that doesn't have something to prove. She just exists and happens to be a woman. In a time when women in video games either have to stick it to the man locked and loaded with a big set of guns, or seem to have a total lack of self-preservation, it's refreshing to be presented with a main character like Jade. I have long since come to terms with scantily clad ladies who were never appropriately dressed for the weather or combat, so it's all become noise to me. But Jade, getting introduced to her character reminded me of the first time I met Alex Vance from Half-Life 2, and I was ecstatic. She's smart, she's witty, and she's out to find the truth.
Friends, I believe Jade has just shown us an amazing demonstration of courage.
Nice work, kid.
The plot is also incredibly well put together. They don't throw plot points at you and just allow the story to flow organically. You believe the government is doing its part to take care of the population only to discover they are just feeding the citizens lies to keep everyone under strict rule. Jade becomes part of an underground organization called ISIS that distributes the terrible truth to the public. She's also trying to raise money to keep her family afloat, so she photographs wildlife for a science center on the side when she isn't taking down guards or exposing the truth. Gameplay works one of two ways. When you're in the interior of a building, you move between outright combat and stealth-based attacks. In direct combat, you can utilize the special attack of your partner to assist you in taking down tougher enemies. In large, open areas, you move about in a hovercraft that you progressively upgrade using pearls you obtain by completing missions and collecting enough photographs. You start off by just cruising around, but you build up the vehicle until it can blast off into space. I urge that you take your time when playing this title. There's quite a lot of detail and love put into it that requires thoughtful playthrough. I adore this game. I plan on playing it through a second time and getting all of the photos, all of the pearls, and exploring all corners of this game. It's secured a place on my shelf as something I will play in the future and might lend out to some trustworthy friends. Get a few bucks ready and get Beyond Good and Evil. The original version is still easy to find used on Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GameCube, and now a pretty HD version is available on the Xbox Live Arcade. Oh, and while I was playing through this game for the first time, Sony released this to the PSN on June 8th. If you've played this game in the past, then you can look forward to Beyond Good and Evil 2 still in production, even if it ends up on the next generation of consoles. Well, I'm gonna go get my green lipstick and my camera and get ready to kick some ass. I highly suggest you do the same.